I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place B, what's good? I'm your man's Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the Next Morning Drive. Welcome. Running a little bit late, man. I had to change of course. I had to change my mind. Mid production, I had to change my mind, man. I had this thought. Did something dawn on me. So I shifted midstream. And y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go, man. You know how you try something and you like, yo, you know what would be even better than that? How about this? So I had one of those moments this morning. Actually, it was about like 5 o'clock because I was gonna get on here and talk to everybody like, yo, you know, training camp battle, blah, blah. And it dawned on me, I'm tired of that. I want to get down to the nitty gritty with y'all, man. Y'all be talking to me about some stuff. So Robert Paul's in the building. Wayne Peterson, what's good? Jay Singh, ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Jamie Peralta is in the building. What's good? Jamie Peralta is in the building. Just want to say something real quick, just to get this out of the way. Yeah, this microphone. Okay, all right. Okay, microphone. All right, microphone. What's happening? What's happening? Can y'all hear me out there? Yeah. Can y'all hear me out there? Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Uncle Freezy's in the house tonight. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. I'm kidding with y'all right now. I got my energy all the way up to 100. I got some things that I want to point out really quick. And then I'm going to get down to what they call the nitty gritty. Okay? The nitty gritty. First of all, New Yorkers, the New York Giants are trash. Trash. And this dude, Gettleman, hey, Jonathan Green, what's good? And whoever it is that's in y'all front office, whoever it is that's in y'all front office that made these stupid moves, you run off Eli, you trade Beckham, you can't put together an offensive line, you're wasting Saquon Barkley's career. In the words of Ron Cleveland, this is front office malpractice. That is front office malpractice. I'm not a Giants fan at all, right? I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm not a Giants fan. Chuck Allen was good. I'm not a Giants fan, and I know y'all tuned in for Knicks, but I got to get something off my chest. I got a lot of stuff to say, and damn it, I'm going to say it. Right? People be coming at me like, yo, people be coming at me like, yo, Uncle Freezy, you be too hard on such and such and such and such. So what? I've been trying to, like, for like the last 2 or 3 months, man, I've been palling around trying to be super nice to everybody. Man, so what? I'm letting it fly. Time to let it fly, bro. 19 comment NYC 84 is in the building. Chuck Allen. Every time I see Chuck Allen, I be wanting to say, and then this corner from parts unknown, the reigning, defending champion of the world, Chuck Allen. Bro, Chuck Allen, that could be your ringtone too, bro. You go ahead and use that. Go ahead and use that, Chuck Allen. Go ahead and use that, Chuck. Jamie Peralta in the building. Robert Paul. Robert Paul's finally back. What's happening? Robert Paul, where you been? Robert Paul, where you been? I've been trying to figure out how we supposed to rock without Robert Paul. Because you know you love to hear me say it in the mornings. Robert Pie. Robert Pie. And I don't care how many Knicks podcasts you watch, ain't nobody got a voice like Uncle Freezy, baby. Let's be real. Uncle Freezy has what they call the pipes. Robert Pie says I froze him. Nah, bro. Trust. Robert Pie. Trust. It ain't nothing but love, bro, from me. From me. It ain't nothing but love. And it always has been from day one. I am what they call an A1 day one with Robert Pie and some others. And yes, I'm from New Jersey, so I don't have to say Oz. I don't have to say Oz, right? And so what happens is when I get like I'm down south and sometimes I don't pronounce my Oz, people are like, "You mean like the Wizard of Oz?" No, a lot of wise eyes in the building. Every time a lot of wise step in the room gets smarter. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Allah Wise. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? the 19 con man NYC 84, the number one, the number one participant, or the number one person for Raphael. Like Raphael don't even want to come in here unless 19 con man NYC 84 is here. He like, oh, yo, Uncle Freeze, I just came to stop by to see if 19 con man NYC 84 was here, because if he ain't, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and do what I was already gonna do this morning. Right? And I know, listen, I know people all over have to kind of get used to Uncle Freezy and get used to how we rock on Blowing Tears. I know people got to get used to that. They're like, this dude's screaming. What's happening? Why he screaming at us? Nah, man, this love is energy. Get that energy up. Yo, I spoke to City for real last night. City was talking at me so hard. I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. Get it up. Let's go. A young Lakers fan told me last night that I remind him of a young Fred G. Sanford. Me. It's the same dude, the dude he said all the time. Man, you remind me of a young Sanford and Son. Really? So yeah, Giants fans, y'all lost yesterday, and y'all deserved it. Y'all look like Keystone Cops, and y'all deserved it. This dude, Joe Judge, is an idiot. Your offensive coordinator is offensive. Okay. I know this is the Knicks channel, and I know the Giants have. I know. Hey, listen, I know people are like, if I wanted to hit Giants, I'll go to the entertainer. Hey, the entertainer is my guy. That's my dude. If that's what you want, go ahead, because the entertainer is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Go way back in this YouTube thing. We go back for years. Well, in the immortal words of the great American poet, the notorious B.I.G., been in the game for years. It made me an animal. There's rules to this. So I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step blueprint that you can get your game on track or your wig pushed back. Eloquent words from the great American poet, the notorious B.I.G. DSJ says, don't come at the Giants. I'm not happy. Bro, y'all laughed. And for the record, I am a Chicago Bears fan. Maybe been in Chicago twice in my life. But I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And when we did the trade on draft night, Giants fans were like, oh, we got an extra draft pick. Thank you, Chicago. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need Justin Fields. Sometimes the punchlines write themselves. You don't even need the joke. You don't even need the joke. The punchline writes itself. You don't even need the joke. Right? You don't even need the joke. You don't need a setup. You don't need the joke, because the punchline wrote itself. The Giants, the New York Football Giants, ragged me on draft night saying, oh, we got an extra first-round pick from the Bears because Daniel Jones is the guy. We don't need Justin Fields. Surprise. Surprise! I hate to be the one to tell you. I hate to be the one to tell you, but surprise! All right. Hey, DSJ, you said I'm looking fuzzy on the screen. Let me see what I can do to fix that. Let me see what I can do to fix that. Am I looking fuzzy? Because if I am looking fuzzy, I will start all over. Let me view it. Yeah, I am looking fuzzy. I am looking fuzzy. My camera is sharp, but YouTube is fuzzy. Why am I looking fuzzy, YouTube? See, that's a YouTube issue. That is a YouTube issue. I'm looking at myself on StreamYard and I'm crystal clear. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at how I probably should have shaved my head this morning. So Wayne Peterson, what's good? So you know what? I said I might start over. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, man. I'm gonna just rock. Y'all bear with me on this. Right? I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. Right? So I want to show y'all something, and then that way you'll know why my energy is all the way up. I'm just gonna bring it on screen. I ain't get rid of this screen show y'all to death. I just want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all this. Do you see the look on Pat Ewing's face at Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan in this picture has something Pat Ewing wants. Right? You see the look on Reggie Miller's face. He's saying, y'all have something that we want. Right? Let me see here. Okay. So things seem to have cleared up some on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for catching up. You see the look on Patrick Ewing's face in this picture? So somebody was telling me, a non-Knicks fan told me, a non-Knicks fan said, hey, Trae Young is y'all villain. And I laughed. I laughed and the old man laughed. Trae Young is our villain? Young fella said, and I was talking to him about how people sleep on me on 2K because they like, yo, cats your age shouldn't be or don't play video games. And I don't. But I come from the video game era. I come from the video game era. right? I come from the era of stealing my mom's laundromat quarters and going to the arcade, right? And bringing home wet clothes, right? My mom be like, "Boy, why these clothes so wet? I don't know, mama, these clothes, the dryer whack." Meanwhile, I'm at the laundromat playing Miss Pac-Man with all my boys. That's how it works. It's called the kid tax. You gonna send a little kid to the laundromat with seven garbage bags full of clothes, and I'm 9, and you think that I'm gonna wash and dry and fold all these clothes. Surprise. Surprise. And listen, yo, infamous New King is in the building. What's good? A lot wise is like, exactly. Berserk and asteroids. Bim. And listen, my mom wasn't into child labor. Everybody was doing it. I'm in a laundromat. Ain't no adults in there. It's all kids washing and drying and folding clothes. Right? But to this point that I want to make, right? About this dude, Trae Young. See, Trae Young is pretty. Trae Young is soft. Trae Young is protected. And so Wayne Peterson says, if you were born 1969 or over, you are eligible. Right. Bim. What about 1968? Does that count too? Should you count 1968? Okay. Trae Young is not a villain. Trae Young has won nothing. Trae Young has not won a league MVP, an all-star game MVP, a rookie of the year. Or did he win rookie of the year? Let me see. He may have won rookie of the year. Let me check. Just before, when I said he didn't win rookie of the year, it didn't sound right. Let me just make sure. Okay, so Trae Young is a one-time All-Star, and he made the 2018-19 All-Rookie team. So what? I am not impressed. I'm not. Trae Young is soft. And Trae Young, if you watching, yes, I call you soft. Soft. Just like that guy Ray from what's that movie? Ray, what's the movie that Ray was with Ray Boom Boom Room? Y'all know the movie. Y'all know the movie. Y'all know the movie. Ray and Ray Boom Boom Room, and he called that dude Claude with the soft Claude with the soft hands. My screen is extremely blurry. Yes, my screen is extremely blurry. I see it on YouTube right now. Hey, it's not anything I'm doing, man. This is frustrating me. Yo, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kill this right here, and I'm gonna start all over. I don't want to. Or y'all think we'll be good? Because I see it's pixelated. It's not. It's not really blurry. It's pixelated. Like I don't know what. It's pixelated bad, man, on YouTube. I can see it. I can almost see the squares. I can almost see the squares, man. It's crazy. Y'all want to just rock like this? Or should I just do this? Should I just do that until it tightens up? Until it tighten up. Y'all okay with me being off the screen? Infamous New King says the show must go on. Okay. Wayne Peterson said, we good. Some of us watch TV with the antennas. Bim. I agree. I'm gonna just rock. And what I may do is after the fact, for those of y'all that are watching, or that are watching this on replay, what I'll probably do is at the end of this, take that video down and upload the original. What happens is I'm recording it and streaming it to YouTube at the same time. And so I could just replace one with the other. I just probably put up an edited one, one that makes me look smart. So, Trae Young, you are not a villain. Trae Young, you are not a villain. And trust. I'm going to say this because I know there are some native New Yorkers in here and some longtime Knicks fans in the building. And I'm going to say this, and this may stir up some of those passionate Knicks fans, but I'm going to say this anyway. Trae Young, you don't want to be public enemy number one of this franchise. Trae Young, the rivalry you want is Charlotte. Right? That's what you want. You want Charlotte. Pretty style basketball, two teams running up and down the floor. They flashy. They got 40 different uniforms. Don't nobody have bumps and bruises. You know what I'm saying? But when you pick the Knicks to be your rival, you are in for a fight. And not a hey, we beat y'all in the playoffs. Ha ha, look at us. No, this is a forever fight. Reggie Miller walked down the streets of New York City and people still come at Reggie Miller. Are you serious? Trae Young, do you know what this is? This ain't the fight that you want, Trae Young. Anthony D is in the building. What's good? Old school Knicks. What's good? What's good, old school Knicks? What's happening? This ain't the Trae Young. Trae Young, listen, Your geographical rival is Charlotte. They got a pretty point guard too. A dude that don't like to be touched, a dude that don't like to play physical. Y'all perfect for each other. Y'all perfect for each other. Y'all the pretty boy fight. See, you don't want, see, that's the thing, Trae Young. You are soft, like Ray said in that movie. You are soft. You are clawed with the soft hands, Trae Young. Trae Young, you clawed with the soft hands. You don't want this. And by this, I mean forever being booed. See, Trae Young, you came to the Garden once and got spit on. And you were like, and you cried like a, I was tempted to say it, but I didn't. Yeah, hey, that obscenity was about to come across my mouth, but I didn't. See, I showed some discipline there. Right? Right? Brother Shaquille Sunflowers in the building. What's good? Trae Young got spit on in the Garden and cried. Right? That's how I know. That's how I know you soft. Don't come at me with this, nobody should spit on such and such. Bro, I've been in places. I've been in fist fight. Bro, I done been in tussles where if a dude can't get to you, guess what he gonna do? If a dude want to put his hands on you and he can't, guess what he gonna do, Trae Young? He gonna bite you or spit on you or something. But you pretty. You got your soul glow hairdo going on and all this. You know what I'm saying? You don't wear no sleeves. You don't get no scratches on you. See, I know Trae Young is soft because he don't wear nothing to cover up his arms. Because dudes that go through the battles, that get bumps and bruises and cuts and scrapes and scratches, they get tired of it after a while and start putting stuff on. See Carmelo Anthony, if you think I'm lying. See, Trae Young, you soft. You soft, like clawed with the soft hands. Savage NYC, what's good? Chop Lowe's in the building. What's good, Chop? What's good? See, I know soft when I see soft, and Trae Young is soft. See, I'm a Knicks fan, man. Since day one. I keep saying since day one, but I used to like the Harlem Globetrotters first, but that's a story for another day. Ms. Mo could be like, yo, you be getting into story time with Uncle Freezy too quick. Yeah, kinda. Trae Young, you soft. You clawed with the soft hands. You know what I'm saying? You ain't built for prison. You ain't built for that, Trae Young. You was supposed to be a bank teller, remember? You took your girl out to dinner and you ain't had no money. Remember that? That's you, Trae Young. You soft. I wish I had a witness out here. Listen. Ain't nothing wrong with being soft if you know you soft. But if you soft and think you hard, then we got an issue. Trae Young, you soft. You soft, Trae Young. I give you an example. See, because all millionaire NBA point guard, blah, blah, you know what I'm saying, ain't soft. Like Russell Westbrook want to fight the whole arena. When they disrespected Westbrook was about it. Westbrook was like, I'm going to fight everybody. It took security and his teammates to get him out of there. Trae Young told his daddy, hey, daddy, that dude spit on me. Soft. And listen, I don't condone spitting on people. I don't. But I know it's a fact of life. You gonna disrespect us, somebody disrespected you back, and a lifetime ban from the Garden was worth it to them. Yeah, I spit on Trae Young. And no, I can never go to another Knicks game, but I spit on Trae Young. Would Uncle Freezy have made that trade-off? No. Would I have been smarter about it? Yes. Forbes Fields in the building was good. The new Knicks is in the building. What's good? Chuck Allen says, you spit on me, it's a wrap. Yes. It is, bro. I'm trying not to get in story time with Uncle Freezy. All I'm going to say is this. This one time I was working, I had like 52 jobs. I was working like 5 jobs at once. And I was a detention officer, a correction officer, right? And this dude that was bigger than me. And then when I think about it, this is crazy. This dude was like 6'9", like 400 pounds. He was like, if you ever pop this door, Uncle Freezy, it's going to be smoke in the city. And I popped the door because I like smoke in the city. And I popped the door. And it was smoke in the city. And after that, he was like, this is abuse. Yeah, it's abuse. And then I walked by and he chose to spit on me. And it was Smoke in the City Part 2. Soul Fingers in the building. It was good. It was good, Soul Finger. Yo, salute to the mods. Salute to the chat. Salute to all the returners. Salute to all our guys that represent for the orange and blue every day. Right? That's how I know Trae Young is soft. Trae Young is soft like that guy Claude in that movie. When Bernie Mac was like, your hand's soft and supple like a gull. Yeah, Trae Young, that's you. And if you mad, do something about it. when Bernie Mac said, your hands are soft, supple like a gull. Yeah, Trae Young, that's you. You soft, Trae Young. You are soft. S-O-F-T. You soft. And you talking about being a villain? You talking about being a villain? You ain't no villain. You ain't no rival. Y'all met us in the playoffs one time. Y'all beat us, so what? That ain't no rivalry. Where was this rivalry talk when we was spanking y'all up in the regular season? The Knicks wasn't even sweating that. They were like, yo, this is another game. We just trying to get ourselves together. That was it. We was beating Atlanta in the regular season. We was like, yo, we just trying to get ourselves together, man. We know we've been a mess for a long time, and we just trying to get it together. And then y'all win a playoff series, and all of a sudden, y'all a rival? If you don't get that mess out of here. And then I see Knicks content creators like, yo, Trae Young might be a villain. Trae Young ain't no villain. Y'all must be out of y'all doggone mind. Are we that short on content? Well, we gotta build up something. Trae Young is a villain. Get out of here. If y'all say Clint Capella, then I'll be like, yeah, because that stuff Clint Capella was saying was mighty saucy. He was mighty spicy off the lip. Clint Capella was like, yeah, I'm going to bump him and push him around. So what? Tell him to do something about it. He said that. He said that. Trae Young, on the other hand, nah, Trae Young ain't said none of that. Trae Young ain't said none of that. And we out here talking about Trae Young being a villain. Do you know what a villain is? Do y'all know what an antagonist is? It is not Trae Young. You can't be the hero and the villain at the same time. You can't. Either you're the protagonist or the antagonist, but you can't be both, Trae Young. I understand Atlanta got some, they won a couple of playoff series and they feeling themselves with they nice fancy arena and they 40 uniforms, all these different colorway uniforms and all this stuff that they got to do to try to get people to come see them. But you know what? The Knicks can play out. The Knicks can play on Coney Island and YMCA uniforms, and you can best believe it's gonna be sold out. Out. The Knicks can legit play at the Rucker in white beaters, and that joint to be sold out. And Trae Young, them, they play in the arena. It's all nice. I've been there. It's nice. And they got their 50,000 uniforms. You got to pick one. You know, they got a uniform schedule. Come here on retro 1980s Atlanta Hawks uniform night. I don't care what uniforms y'all wear. I just want the uniform to be the home unis. When I go to see the Knicks, I just want the unis to be the home uniforms. You feel me? Trae Young, you soft. You soft, bro. And LaMelo. You and LaMelo both are soft. LaMelo Ball is soft. Trae Young is soft. And they play down here in these nice arenas, and they got 50,000 uniforms. Come here for the Alonzo Mourning Charlotte Hornets uniform night. Come here for our blackout means we're tough uniforms. These things have these black uniforms that make them seem tough. We're tough because we wear all black. No, y'all not tough because y'all wear all black. Y'all soft because y'all think y'all need to wear black to be tough. Y'all ain't tough. You know what I mean? Trae Young, a villain? What in the world? What in the world? What in the name of Fred and Barney is going on out here when Trae Young is a villain? We must be short on villains. Is that what's happening? All the villains went on vacation and all they had to fill in who was Trae Young. Trae Young was the only person in town when we needed a villain. Trae Young? Are we serious? Trae Young is the villain? What in the world? What in the name of Sam and Dave is going on out here when Trae Young is a villain? Come on. Trae Young? If you see Trae Young in the street, does Trae Young intimidate you? Trae Young is listed at 6'1", 188. I saw Trae Young. Trae Young ain't no 6'1" or no 188. Either. I saw Elfrid Payton standing next to Trae Young in real life, and it looked like a parent chaperoning their kid on a field trip. That's how small Trae Young is. And listen, size don't matter. In terms of size and height and all that stuff, I know what y'all about to say. Well, Uncle Freeze is, you don't have to be 9 foot tall to be tough. I know that. Soulfinger said the people who came up with that was listening to MC Ren, the villain in black. You remember MC Ren? Man, see, you about to get me into story time. Man, I was in Waco, Texas. Nah, I ain't ready to go all the way into story time with Uncle Freezy bag. But I did cop that MC Ren. DSJ says Trae Young is intimidating like a Raggedy Ann doll. Yes, that's what Trae Young is. Chuck Allen says, I look at Trae like Megamind or Plankton. Are they really villains though? No, they are. No. Trae Young is not a villain, right? Trae Young is not a villain, right? When I think villain, I think about Hannibal. Hannibal, what's the book? What's the two books? Miss Mocha, what's the two books with Hannibal in it? Silence of the Lambs. Now that is a villain, right? I think about the Joker. That is because the villains, to be a villain, you have to have a certain level of crazy town. See, in order to be a villain, you have to have a certain level of crazy town. Can Trae Young be a heel? Yeah, that's just because you're just being a bad guy. You're just being rude. You're just being a bad guy. But a villain has a level of crazy town that helps them get what they want in the long run. Right? Trae Young, a villain? Trae Young, you soft. And Nick's Universe is pushing this thing up like Trae Young is a villain? Man, get out of here. I'm losing respect for people for saying Trae Young is a villain. He got spit on and was like, hey, daddy, they spitting on me. That guy right there spit on me. Trae Young, a villain? Bro. Come on, man. What are we doing, Knicks fans? You know who was a villain to us? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a villain to us. You know why? Because he had something that we wanted, and he prevented us from getting it on a yearly basis by any means necessary. There were years when the Knicks legit had better teams than the Bulls, and Michael Jordan pulled out all of his tricks to make sure he kept what he wanted, right? And prevented the Knicks from getting what he had, and that's the NBA championship. In 92, you're not going to tell me the Knicks didn't have a better team than the Bulls. You're not going to tell me that. I don't care what y'all say, and y'all can go back and Google stuff and pull up stats and numbers and all of that. But I'm here to tell you, I saw this with my own eyes. The 92 Knicks were better than the Chicago Bulls. Right? But Mike, with a sprained wrist, said, hey, John Starks is slapping at my hurt wrist, and they threw Starks out the game. Right? Reggie Miller was a villain to us. Reggie Miller was a villain to us. Alonzo Mourning, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody in here remember Alonzo Mourning? He was a villain to us. And think about all these dudes that I mentioned, right? They look nothing like Trae Young. Nothing. Right? Trae Young is soft. He is Claude from that movie. Claude with the soft hands. Oh, your hands soft, supple like a girl. That's Trae Young. Trae Young doesn't intimidate anybody with his presence or his game. How is he a villain? How is he a villain? He don't intimidate you with his presence or his game. Michael Jordan intimidated you with his presence and his game. Reggie Miller intimidated you with his game. Alonzo Mourning intimidated you with his presence. Okay? See, I'm old enough to remember when the Philadelphia 76ers used to put the Timmy on the Knicks. Yep, Michael Ray Richardson, Darryl Walker, Trent Tucker, Rory Sparrow, all them guys. Yep, I remember when they big guys, we used to go to the rim, and they used to just physically just bully us. We were soft. We were soft. We were soft, man. Right? Those guys were villains. Because they would beat you up and win the game. Come on. What are we talking about? Trae Young? If you're a Knicks fan and you're intimidated by Trae Young, this channel might not be for you. If you're a Knicks fan and Trae Young intimidates you, this channel may not be for you, bro. Because we rock with hardcore Knicks fans that know the history of this franchise. Eltran asked me if I remember Darryl Dawkins. Yes! Yes, I remember Darryl Dawkins. He was a hack. Trae Young is a villain. What in the name of peanut butter and jelly have become of my New York Knicks franchise if Trae Young is a villain? If Trae Young is a villain, what? No, if Trae Young is a villain, what kind of organization do we have? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yes. If Trae Young is a villain, what type of organization do we have? Because you don't have to be big, right? You don't have to be big, man. Kemba Walker's not big. Kemba Walker is in terms of NBA talent. Kemba Walker is little in terms of how the NBA goes. Andy N is in the building. What's good, Andy? What's good? Trey Young is a villain. And Knicks content creators, and I love them, man. Man, listen, y'all got this thing ass backwards. Trey Young a villain? Get out of here. We not that thirsty for Knicks content, y'all. I was on Twitter. I saw people like, yo, Trey Young, man. Trey Young is a new villain. Trey Young ain't no villain. Trey Young ain't no villain. Trey Young? Man, I remember Larry Bird saying, I'm going to shut this garden up. And then he proceeded to put up 40 and shut the garden up. Trey Young hit a shot in a late game situation and then said he shut the garden up. Thank you. That shows you right there. That shows you right there what people's hearts are pumping. You hit a shot and then say, I'm shutting the garden up. How about say, I'm going to shut this garden up and then go do it? I'm just saying. Chuck Allen says Trey Young is Elder Barge from Rhythm. Oh my God, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna throw this thing in the chat, man. Listen. I need voices from other people because I might be wrong. Maybe I'm too old school for y'all. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat to see if we can get voices for some other people. Because maybe I'm too old school. Right? Maybe I'm too old school. Right? Maybe I'm too old school. Maybe I think of tough and villain and rivalry in different terms. Maybe tough nowadays. Oh, finger!
What's good, Unc? What's good?
Bro, I need to ask you a question. Does tough and villain nowadays mean millionaires driving around in fancy cars with manicured hands and a 50-man team entourage that does everything for them, and they don't have bumps and bruises and scrapes? And if you touch them, they complain to the refs. Does that mean tough nowadays?
I mean, that's what they push for. I mean, to keep it 100. These cats, man, like I said, I can't say it the way I would normally say it, Freeze. So I'm gonna be real, rated G with it. But a lot of these cats like that, man, they soft to the baby doo doo.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, the media want to hype this cat up like that because of what he did in the garden. But did you talk to trash before you started? No. Did you talk to trash during everything was going into players during the game? No. But what you did was you fall down. Hey, he fell down like he got he looked like one of them joints in one of the kung fu movies. I'm gonna take it back to the kung fu theater days. The cat talking about my kung fu's the greats, and then he get hit with a fist in the foot at the same time, go rolling over tables, talking about, oh, wait a minute, I ain't ready. I'm not ready yet. That's him.
Trey Young is a low budget stunt double. That's Trey Young.
Yeah,
Trey Young ain't even tough. Come on, bro.
He's a pest. He's the little kid. You know, take it back. Let's take it back to your elementary days. He's that little kid that would always antagonize and mess with you. But then when you getting ready to put hands on him or whatever, he run behind somebody or he just gone because he's too quick for you to really catch. Because you know, but that's what he did. I'm not gonna take the thing from his. You did your thing on. You had your good little run. All right, kudos. But bro, you're not our villain. You're not our villain. Reggie Miller was the cat. I can, you know what? I give him his props, but still, when I look at him, man, I still can't stand Reggie Miller. I want to put a banana in his tailpipe, dog. Every time I go somewhere. Jordan was a villain. Yes. You know, those were people that were doing this, man. But for the most, but no, Trey is not the villain, man.
Right. You know who were villains to us? The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics were villains to us.
Yes.
Because they had something we wanted. They were in our way, right? But they also prevented us from getting to where they were. And the reason why they did is because on times where the talent was equal, they presented guile. Like, people don't know what guile is, right? Like they were like, we're gonna win this game by any means necessary. Exactly. If that means bringing our goons off the bench to hack y'all up, well, our goons are at the scorer's table.
You know what else? You know who? You know, I'm gonna keep it, since we kind of rocking with a lot of old school, and you brought up the Pistons. Isaiah Thomas, Zeke was a villain.
Yes. Yes.
See, people get villains twisted because you come out and put on a little show and everything. You talk trash. Because I'm gonna tell you, you know what got me? What really got to me, man. I wasn't right. I wasn't right in my soul and my feeling. When he was walking off, he talking about, "I sure got quiet now," or whatever. Right. What up, man? Look, you shot you some of the, look. He threw up. Granted, he wasn't shooting a lot of the shots he did early on, and we're gonna have to give Nate McMillan his dues because they got a good coach. I like Nate McMillan when he was back in Seattle, back in the Seattle days. Yeah, you know, Pete, for those that could remember, Nate McMillan played tough, hard ball. Yeah, he was rugged.
He helped groom a young point guard out of Oregon State. People don't remember that.
Yeah, see, but the thing about it is, Trey Young, you look at him cross-eyed, he's flopping. Yeah, I don't, you know, if you got to flop and roll over and all like that, because if you don't get a tech, if he couldn't get that foul, you saw him rolling around the floor holding his belly like he having a temper tantrum, man. Yeah. So no, man, no, he's not a villain. He's a pest. He's our pest. He is the Knicks hemorrhoid. That's what he is. He's our hemorrhoid of life, right there. That's what he is. He's not a villain. He's not a villain. He's a pain. He's a pain in the, you know, on the backside, man. Cat ain't no villain.
Yeah, he to me, Trey Young is in the same boat as a Drazen Petrovic back in the day. He wasn't no villain. Trey Young, hey, Drazen Petrovic wasn't no killer. He wasn't gonna physically do nothing to the Knicks, but he sure would make a lot of shots.
And that's what it is. He's a pest. He's a pest because he can make shots. Because see, for me to be on that villain status, you got to be able to make shots and lock somebody down on D. But talk the noise from beginning to the end. You know, if you know, people didn't like Rasheed because Rasheed was always talking. Even when Rasheed lost, what was she doing? Still talking.
Still talking.
You know, and I'm not calling Rasheed because Rasheed was one of my favorite power forwards all the time. Love Sheed. I was happy that he was a Knick. I could say he wore our blue and orange. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted. But back to staying on track on the scheduled program, man. Nah, man. In the words of G-Man, missed me with that.
Yep. Yep. And I'm here to tell you, bro. I'm here to tell you that cats like Trey Young, see a Trey Young, you can't tell me he's a villain when he don't have any successes. He did this once. This is one time. One time. Bro, you don't have the reputation of being a villain.
I mean,
like I'll give you. Okay. So my template or blueprint for the babyface assassin is Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I agree with you on that.
Because Isaiah Thomas would be smiling, but he would push. Listen, he would
He's
push an
smiling.
old lady. Yeah, he would push an old lady in front of a train if it meant winning.
Yeah,
He would do that and be like, "I wish this train would hurry up."
so you know who like he was bringing up villains and comic books. Like I'm a comic book collector by heart, man. I love comic books, man.
Right.
Grew up on it. And when you say that about Zeke is kind of like Isaiah was like a cross between the Joker and Doctor Doom,
Right.
because he was calculating, but he just be smiling and be doing it. He's the cat to take the ice pick and just be smiling as he's jabbing that Joker below your skull.
Right.
You know, he's the cat. You know, old school villains. That's where they probably got it from. They were looking at the old was that Penelope Pit Stop, that old cartoon when they had Dick Dastardly with his mustache and black.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's who they probably thinking Trey's supposed to be.
Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, Laugh Olympics, man. Yeah. he doesn't have a real good he had that mustache he could twirl and give the last laugh and tie the damsel to the railroad track and wait for the train to come. Man, that ain't Trey, man. Them days are done.
Yeah, Trey. Yeah, that ain't Trey Young, bro. What are we talking about, man? And the thing, the NBA putting that game on Christmas Day.
Ratings, media is trying to got that hype train going. But see, the thing is because what we did, we knew what we got. But see, we went from being a joke in their eyes or whatever else. Now everybody wants some. Everybody get it because we the new hotness. We the new hotness. Everybody want we that brand new car. Everybody want to get in. It went on production. We those brand new pair of J's you put on your feet. A nice clean pair of Timbs you put on. That's us. Everybody want it. You know.
So the dagger said Trey Young didn't even call himself a villain. You see that? You see this? He didn't even call himself a villain. The old days is just that the old days. Y'all said, no, bro. Nah, bro. I appreciate the comment, man, but nah. See, you don't have to do. See, this is like the what I'm talking about. The finessing of a point.
Yes.
The finessing of a point, right? He didn't have to call himself the villain, but you know what though? He also didn't have to do the thing with WWE coming to New York.
See, it right there, Freeze. That's
coming to
game.
The Garden.
Hey, in words of L, that's the game within the game. So why is he coming to the Garden trying to and then want to put, what was it? I saw I guess it was a Twitter put on with the belt up in the Garden. Come on, man. So you saying you the champ of New York? Come on, man, get out of here.
Come on, man. I mean, what's happening? What's happening? And see, that's what I'm saying. This is the finessing of a point. This is the finessing of a point. See, the fact that you didn't say it don't mean that you did not embrace it. And just because you didn't say it publicly doesn't mean that you didn't say it. Right? Because you can say a lot of things behind closed doors and in closed circles. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you don't say it publicly doesn't mean that it's not being said or felt by you as such.
Okay, and you made a good point, and that should go back to my man and made that sent that post. You know, nobody, hey, like you said, if you want to embrace it like that, hey, it is what it is, but don't be passive aggressive, i.e. what Trey Young doing. Right. You know, you don't have to. I don't have to come out and say something verbally to let you know. I can always keep posting little things. That's all you got to do. You post in this day and age. I came from that era where if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. If I got something to say to Freezer, I'm gonna say something to Freezer. Like, I'm just man up and say, "Hey, Freezer, this, that, and the third." That's what you're supposed to do, right? But now you can post,
and that's what I expect.
Yeah, but see, a lot of the cats now, what they do, they put these little Instagram vague little comments and passive aggressive things on, man.
Shade and finessing. Yeah.
Yes. You know, you want to come up in here in your little shiny shoes and your little tight pants and, you know, little medium shirts and come off like you. No, man. No. I can't get down because I was, you know, I was working and I was listening and and that whole thing with the whole villain, how they're trying to hype, because they want to get us a villain. They want to give us a rivalry because we had rivalries with Miami, rivalries with the Pacers, the Bulls, even Charlotte. Charlotte was a thorn in the side.
Yeah.
You know, so you trying to look at that to get us back into that. Just, you know, let us just be like Tupac and us against the world. That's why I asked for. So we go out here and shock the world. That's all I want to see. Because it's funny.
Right. And so here's the thing, man. The thing with Atlanta, I always felt like it was fleeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like that because during the season we were like, who finishes 4, who finishes 4, who finishes 5, who finishes 6, and our real rival was on our heels, right? Our real rival was on our heels because there were a lot of Knicks fans that were scared. I'm talking about intimidated by the fact that if Miami finished 5th, we would have to play Miami in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And they come to do a whole bunch of tiebreakers. The Knicks get the 4th seed, Atlanta get the 5th seed, and Miami get the 6th seed, right?
Yeah.
Right? And by a whole bunch of tiebreakers and all that stuff, you know, whatever. We finished with the same records and blah, and right? But our real rival, the Miami Heat, would have posed a bigger threat to us as a fan base in terms of rekindling old rivalries.
Yes.
Yep.
When Charlie Ward got slung around, like when they slung Charlie Ward out, and that knocked us out the playoffs. That law, those ejections that set us up because we couldn't do anything. We didn't have enough horses.
How you ejected people in Game 6? You eject people for Game 6?
Yeah.
Come on, David Stern. Come on, bro. And so the thing is, people forget, like, the Miami Heat is a rivalry because of a few things. For one, when they were an expansion franchise, the Knicks used to run up the score on them. People don't remember.
Yeah, they did.
When Miami was new, the Knicks used to beat the brakes off the Heat, right? Yeah.
They were, we literally got that little brother treatment. Literally.
Yeah. We were sunning them when they were an expansion team, right? When they were an expansion team, we were sunning them. They wanted to be somebody so bad. And the big bad Knicks used to sun them, right? And then all of a sudden, Pat Riley leaves the Knicks and goes where? To the Miami Heat, right? He goes to Miami, and not only does he go to Miami, but he gets a Georgetown center to go to Miami with him.
Yeah.
Right? So now it's like, oh, I could do whatever I want. As long as I get me a Georgetown center, I can still be successful. You're like, oh man, that's a thumb in the face to Pat Ewing, right? This thing might get serious, right? I mean, then you got during the regular season, you got the Pat Riley taking some of his assistants with him, and then Jeff Van Gundy able to keep some of the loyal assistants there. You know what I'm saying? You like, there's something, right? And then we wind up, Allen Houston winds up hitting this epic game winner against the Heat in the playoffs. You know, a 1 versus 8, 8 beats a 1.
Yeah, first time, put them out, and everybody was going crazy about that.
Yeah. And we had played them like 3 years or 2 or 3 years in a row in the playoffs, right? See, that was a rivalry then. And then Miami
got a chip.
And then Miami gets a chip, right? And then LeBron James sits in the vicinity of New York City in the Boys and Girls Club, and says, "I'm going to the tri-state area to announce that I'm going to play for Miami."
Yeah.
Bruh, he sits in the tri-state area and says, "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." Bro, he can't. Why he could have did that in Cleveland?
Yeah, but he came, to rub more salt in the wound.
Salt in the wound, bro.
Actually, not just salt, but he took the green alcohol, not the clear stuff, the green alcohol, and rubbed in there.
Right. Miami thumbing their nose at New York. And people forget too that while we were struggling trying to come up, they were good. And so, and for some reason, the Knicks always played their best games against Miami. We always stepped up against Miami.
Yeah.
Always. Right? And so you take a rivalry like that, like last year, we lost to the Heat, I think, every time.
Yeah.
But those games were so tough. Those games were so tough and back and forth that people are like, this game could have went either way. And RJ and the young guys get a taste of the Heat rivalry, right? But at the same time, we swept Atlanta.
Yeah.
We don't have any playoff history with Atlanta. No front office people left New York and went to Atlanta.
The only connection that we ever had with Atlanta was the rumor about Neek, when Dominique even said that he had contemplating leaving Atlanta to come to the Knicks and play with Pat.
Yeah,
that's the only connection we got.
That's it, and that's a passing thought, right? Yeah. That's a passing thought, man. That ain't even nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, and so we lose to Atlanta in the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're a rival. What in the world happened to rivalries, bro?
Rivalries, I thought was build up over time, not just after one series or whatever. For the most part, to even call it a rivalry, and that's where it's going. Hold on, freeze. Must be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the word rivalry means if Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks are rivals to us now. What does that even mean? What is a rivalry? If team, we don't even hate the Hawks. We don't have history with the Hawks. I tell you what, though. You let us play the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. You let the New York Knicks play the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. Then see what you get. Is that a rivalry? There is bad blood there. Right? There's bad blood there. There's bad blood there between us and the Celtics.
Yeah, I'm back, freeze. That's the thing when you're working from home, get them calls coming in. People want to ask you this, that, and the third.
Yeah, man. Hey, I get someone. Hey, man, did you get that email I sent to you? Man, I got the email, bro.
Yeah.
I replied to. Why you got to call me and ask me about the email? If you were gonna call me, you could have just called me with the information.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just put myself, I get hit. Everybody want to ask me this, ask me that. I'm like, man, leave me alone. It's too early in the morning for this.
Yeah, man. And so, man, I look at all these. Man, I look at the Knicks rivals, right? The Knicks rivals. I mean, I would say, I'm gonna tell you this. I think the Houston Rockets are more of a rival to the Knicks than the Atlanta Hawks.
You know what? And I you know what? I could see where you're going because I mean before you saying, let me see if I'm in the same wheelhouse with you. Just because of that championship alone, how we went, how things went.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, what was, the little things, the snickering and all like that. And every time it's like we played them after that, we just couldn't get right.
Right.
And it was the way they came back because we were up. We should have just walked away, wiped the floor with them.
Yep.
But they came back. That's where I don't know if you're going in that direction with it, along with for that event to happen, to spark it. But somebody would probably say, well, what about you lost the trade in the playoffs? But see, this is the thing. Houston never stopped talking. They never stopped coming.
Right.
Right. And then too, you got Robert Ory that was on that team as a rookie that was shooting, that got loose and hit some shots. Because let's be honest, Robert Ory, those championships he got with Houston was what really sparked everything for him.
Yep.
When he got the moniker with Big Shot Bob.
Shot Bob, that three, that straight on three from top of the key.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the thing is, man, the thing is with Houston, remember Houston used to be called Choke City.
Yeah.
Houston used to be called Choke City. And Rudy Tomjanovich used to be so upset about Houston choking in the playoffs. They just run out of gas. They just get up there. Like, for instance, I remember they used to beat teams like the Seattle Sonics, right? Seattle would have the best team in the league, and they'd play Houston, and Houston would wipe the floor with them, right?
Yeah.
Or the Phoenix Suns would have the best team in the league and lose to the Houston Rockets, right? And then Houston would go on and play a scrub and just lay down, like, oh man, I'm tired. I just don't want to do it no more. And you're like, how do you knock off the Giants and then lose to Little Mac?
Yeah, I will give a shout because along with we were talking with the convo, Brooklyn Buddha had said something about how we were talking about the other cat that said trade it and say it, and we were talking about how you can do stuff. You can put out little signs or your body language can say whatever.
Right.
But Brooklyn Buddha put it best. You can communicate a lot while saying a little.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brooklyn Buddha.
Shout out to Brooklyn Buddha. And so the thing is, man, listen. The thing with the Rockets is Houston used to be called Choke City. Like one year they knocked off the Lakers. Ralph Sampson hit a miracle shot, right? And then they played the Celtics and laid down. They weren't even comp for the Celtics. You were like, that might have been the best team the Lakers had during the 80s. And they took the Rockets lightly, and the Rockets knocked them off. The Lakers was sleepwalking to a championship, right? They were like, yeah, we get past Houston, and we play the Celtics. Hey, surprise. Y'all
got him, coach.
Yeah. And so the thing is, man, what I was getting at with Trae Young, bro, is Trae Young does not a villain make. Because in order for you to be a villain, right? Well, let me separate these two things. In order for you, so there's a difference between a rivalry and a villain, right? A villain is going to be a villain to everybody. You can't be a part-time villain.
Yeah. You can't be loved by one and then embraced and loved by a lot and then just hated by one. That's not really the way I see a villain. A villain is hated by everybody. You see him, you just like, I got to do you in. Everybody's like, we got to handle this cat. I can't. No, you got to be like, like Negan. If you watch Walking Dead, Negan, everybody hated Negan. He was the bad guy you love to hate.
Right.
J.R. Ewing, exactly. And in the immortal words of the great American poet Prodigy from Mobb Deep, he said, "There's a war going on outside. No man to stay from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. On these streets that we done took, you walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook because there's no such thing as halfway crooks. Right? You can't be a part-time villain. Yeah. Either you all or none, man. You know, that's why, like I said, I think the TV of all TV villain was J.R. Ewing. J.R. was the whole that was J.R. Ewing. For those that know who the real J.R. was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 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 Shout out to our main man G.I. G.I. what's good? Hey G.I. I sent you a logo. G.I., what you think about the logo, bro? So I talked to him about doing a logo for Nick's freestyle, man. We working on a lot of things. And so Michael Jordan, Jonathan Green says Michael Jordan was a villain. Yes, because he was a villain to all.
Everybody. Yes. You know,
right.
He sit back, you know, somebody says something, you know, grimy about Mike or whatever, or, I'm going to go out there and stop him. Mike sit back in his chair and say, and then that's when I took it personal.
Right.
I took offense to that. And then he goes out there and terrorizes him. You know, he was that guy that was hitting, you know, burning down villages and stringing people up, you know. That's that Vlad the Impaler type stuff right there, man.
Right.
You know, a villain is somebody that's hated by all, not just, you know, nah.
Yeah, man.
He's our pest.
Yeah. 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 And so the thing about that is so you have a villain who's hated by all, and then you have a rival. Right?
Yeah.
Then you have a rival, like for instance, the Lakers and Celtics don't play in the same conference, but they are rivals.
Yeah.
Right? The Lakers and the Celtics don't play in the same conference, but because of successes and failures, they are rivals, heated rivals. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So with us, I don't see when you are as bad as the Knicks for as long as the Knicks have been bad, you in general don't have a rival, because usually in a rivalry somebody is, you know, two teams are good balance for something, right? You can't count lottery, that don't count. And Allah Wise sums it up. He says Bill Laimbeer was a villain. Bill Laimbeer was a villain.
He was despised, hated by all. You can go to every team, and you go to any locker room, and they'd say the same thing about Bill. But actually, the Pistons, that whole team,
right?
You know, when you talking about the bad boy Pistons, people love how physical they were and everything, but people hated that team. They gave them the product. They got to a 2 championship, but that was a well-hated team, man.
Right.
As a whole, Bill Laimbeer was just, how many times Bill Laimbeer got hit with thunder cookies, man? Somebody put soup bones on him.
Right. A lot. How many times did he deserve it?
A lot.
You know what I mean?
Hey, probably there's probably a lot of other stuff he did that we don't even know. There's a lot of stuff we don't even know about. He should have got more.
Right. Bro, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? So the rivalry thing is separate from the villain thing, and sometimes the villain can be on your rival team, but it's happenstance, right? Like Larry Bird was a villain to us, and he also played for the rival, right? Larry Bird dominated the Eastern Conference, but the Knicks were on the come up, and so we were in Larry Bird's way, so we wound up being a rival, and he was the villain at the same time. But it doesn't happen often. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, man. I just needed to get that off my chest because I had been seeing it so much over the weekend. I couldn't believe we actually fed into it. We were breathing energy into something that did not need energy breathed into it.
No, we didn't. We don't need anybody putting any oxygen on that, man. Because if anything, I would say that we have a rivalry. You had a rivalry. I had a partner. I had a bow-legged tongue. Couldn't get the word out right. But he's not our villain. I could see that the rivalry thing going on because of how things went down in the playoffs. But he's going to talk it after the fact. But you know, trust.
But what happens if we don't play them in the playoffs this year? What happens if we say we play Philly and win, and they play Milwaukee and lose? How are they a rival?
See, that is it's not one. You know, they look. Truth be told, last season Atlanta started to peak right at the right time. We peaked too soon.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We peaked too soon. And then too the switching of coaches. Because if Lloyd Pierce would have never gotten fired, they wouldn't have made it to the playoffs.
Right.
They may have been lucky. No, I wouldn't even say lucky. They wouldn't have made it the play-in because they were going the opposite direction. Nate came in, changed up some stuff, got those cats playing with intensity, and you see all the moves they made.
Yep.
In the offseason, they basically trying to do what we're doing, run it back.
They're trying to recap. Yeah, they're trying to recapture some of that magic they had, right? But we are not geographically. I'll tell you who our rival should have been from day one, should always be, and especially should be paramount right now. The Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
The Brooklyn Nets should be our rival, right? Because we have the heart of the city, and we have the heart of the city, and our franchise has been trashed the last 10 years, right?
Yeah.
They have talent and has been to the NBA Finals twice that we can remember, and nobody even talk about it.
And see, the thing is granted, they got all the so-called firepower and all that. They got the firepower and all of that, but they're still little brother.
Right. That is what a rivalry makes.
Now,
One team having something and the other team having something, and they are fighting for one thing.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the rating that the Knicks got more TV time than the Nets?
Yes.
Wasn't there more following, more people talking about the Knicks than the Nets?
Yep.
Didn't New York have if one of the cheapest, if not cheapest, loaded team in the NBA? Vice, they had the highest? Versus Brooklyn, the highest paid.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that, right? You know, because every time they talk about all this, and this, that, and the third, they were coming up short. They were shorter than a midget on his knees, where they kept trying to flip stuff on us, man.
Right. James Harden said publicly that if you wanted to come to a Brooklyn playoff game, he would pay for your ticket.
Look, all right. So when we knew we had some teams that were just straight dumpster juice.
Right.
You know, we were in shambles, man. We were bad. Bad was the understatement. I'm trying not. I got my brain mouth filter on because I'm trying not to let a colorful adjective slide out when I say this, because when I think about it, I go there. But you got all these so-called superstars. You got the by far the most dangerous offensive starting team in the NBA right now, and you gotta beg people to come to your games.
And you gotta beg people, bribe them.
And the thing about it, what killed me was man, I thought this was our stadium, not the Knicks, because Knicks Nation went in there and took it over. You don't hear them screaming Brooklyn. You hear them screaming about them Knicks. Come on, man.
Right.
That's our other facility. I just look at it like that, man.
Right. And the thing about it, hey, Miss Geraldine is in the building. What's good, Miss Geraldine? So the thing about Brooklyn is I don't poke the bear, so to speak, when it comes to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I let them be who they are. You know what I'm saying? The Brooklyn is like the little brother that you went away to, say, college or the army, and you came back and your little brother is bigger than you.
Yeah, he's straight diesel, just straight corn-fed.
Man, what you been doing? Man, I ain't been doing nothing. I just been eating Lucky Charms and sleeping. You been eating Lucky Charms and sleeping, and you grew 5 inches and put on 30 pounds.
Yeah. Now you can't mess with him. Yeah, I ain't messing with you anymore.
You know what I'm saying? Now I can't just put him in a headlock and choke him halfway out whenever I felt like it. Now I gotta make a business decision now. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's when you have to use that psychological warfare and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, man. So and that's what I mean. So with Brooklyn, I I respect the Brooklyn rivalry some. Out of the moment, when I'm in the moment, I'm dissing them, calling them ugly. When I'm in the moment with Brooklyn, I'm saying they wear. You remember the acid wash and Reggie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God! What in the world?
What out there looking like a bad 80s sitcom?
Yes, yes. I mean, it's not as bad as the Miami Heat with whatever that uniform they had on. They wore this year, the half pink, the half blue,
Oh,
the
yeah.
half. Oh
They
my
came
God!
out with the Miami Vice uniform.
Oh, that thing made me want to vomit. But I mean, it was it was ridiculous, right? But the thing about Brooklyn is I respect the fact that they had these.
Hold on, freeze. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I respect the fact that the Miami Heat at least try to win championships every year. Atlanta will disappear in 5-year stretches. Atlanta will legit disappear for 5 years. You kind of forget they in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? All you think about is down south. All you think about is DC, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando. That's all you really think about. You like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You think about all of them as the same team. You're like, oh yeah, the Atlanta Hornets, the Atlanta Magic. You know what I mean? But when they do show up, when they do revamp, they seem to retool, and they legit have talent. Subliminal 209, what's good? What's good? Sub, make sure you show up Thursday. I kind of like what I was hearing from Sub last Thursday. That was dope. That was dope, man. That was fire. Yeah, y'all was straight until y'all talked about not paying Mitchell Robinson. Then I was like, man, what in the world's going on? So I guess I'm out of steam. I'm tucking out. My energy level was up for the Trae Young villain rivalry thing. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about while we here? We just hanging out. Ain't no pressure. I know sometimes I can get very opinionated on certain things. I can get very passionate on certain things. But y'all got something y'all want to talk about? Let's talk about it. I got some topics. I want to talk about, but I want to hear what y'all have to say. Like, I really want to talk about this Mitchell Robinson not getting paid thing because it's a crime. It's a shame for Lord how the Knicks did Mitchell Robinson, but I'm gonna let that rock. I'm gonna let that slide. Right. The other thing too is RJ Barrett is about to take the next step and become a megastar right in front of your eyes. And I hope Knicks fans appreciate the journey. Right? I hope Knicks fans appreciate the journey. But knowing Knicks fans, nah. I think Kevin Knox. My mind is telling me that Kevin Knox is gonna go the route of Frank Ntilikina, but my heart is telling me that Knox is gonna resurrect his career. But we can let that pass, right? So what you guys want to do? Is StreamYard slow for me? Okay. Okay. Chuck Allen said Knox. What about Knox, bro? What about Knox? What are we doing? Bad. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess Soulfinger had to dip. You know what? I guess now is a perfect time to dip too then. I guess I'll get on out of here. Guess I'll take it to the house. Thank you everybody for coming through. It was a dope show. I'm gonna look back at it and see what we could do to edit it and all of that stuff. Thank y'all for coming through, man. I will holler at y'all later. Peace.